This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stockbox interview.
Joining me today at Stockbox is Kerry Chambers, CEO of Acuity Risk Management. Hi, Kerry. How are you?
Yes. Hi. Nice to see you. Thanks for inviting me. I'm very good. Thank you.
Great to have you with us. Now, we have spoken to you at Stockbox here before about Stream, a software platform for governance, risk and compliance. Now, you've just launched a new product called Storm. Can you tell us a little bit about Storm? Is it something that the company's been working on for a while?
Yeah, certainly. So yes, very proud to have launched Storm to the market a couple of weeks ago. So at Acuity, obviously, we're very well known for supporting customers, providing them with a platform, allowing them to be very proactive in terms of managing their risk within the organization and being able to get a complete view of risk across the whole organization. Storm is a set report that provides information and data when conducting risk assessment in a particular area around corporate security focused on counterterrorism. The driver, I guess, for being able to provide this report to the market is the proposed legislation changes that are being debated in this session of Parliament. There will be a requirement for risk assessment in those changes. And so packaging that in a very easy to access, easy to use report seemed like a sensible move, direction to go in.
So, you just mentioned then some proposed legislation changes. What sort of demand is there for a product like Storm?
Expecting there to be a lot of demand for a report like Storm. So there is existing public safety, health and safety legislation, but the proposed changes that I'm talking about are contained in, you might have heard of Martin's Law or Protect Duty or the Protection of Premises Bill. But essentially what the changes in that legislation are expecting venues to be able to prepare correctly for potential terror attacks. So essentially the changes to the law have got three key components really that are not required by law at the moment, and those would be vulnerability assessments, so risk assessments for large venues, implementing and developing counterterrorism plans, and ensuring that the staff receive the appropriate training with which to then deliver those plans. So, I mean, obviously we're all aware that you can't always prevent a terror attack, but the intention with these legislation changes is that we are much more prepared to deal with them should they happen.
Yes. And I've heard that you recently had a launch at the House of Commons. How exciting.
Yes.
And tell us, what was the purpose of that? And of course, we want to know who was there.
Yeah. Okay. So we did. We had the launch last week at the House of Commons. It was a great success. There was 130 to 150 people in the room, all senior leading figures in terms of managing security, having the responsibility for public safety. We were really honoured to have Figen Murray, OBE, speaking at the event. Figen is the campaigner that has fought tirelessly for the changes proposed in Martin's Law. It was her son Martin that unfortunately was killed in the Manchester Arena bombing that has brought about these proposed changes. We were also lucky enough to have Alistair Sutherland. So he's the Deputy Chief Constable at the British Transport Police, and obviously Alistair very well placed to talk about the issues and challenges surrounding public safety and keeping the public safe, when there are large public gatherings. We had the head of corporate security at the BBC was there, senior leaders from the MOD, senior leaders from other sporting venues and events like the GP, for example. Yeah, it was a great evening, really great, really good discussion, good debate, resounding support of the proposed changes. Martin's Law.
And James Cleverly, the Home Secretary, was also there. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so James cleverly did come to the event. So he is very aware of these proposed changes to legislation, of course, as the Home Secretary. And so he was able to come down to the event for perhaps, 10 minutes towards the end of the event. So he's aware of the changes that are being proposed. He spoke with Vegan Murray while he was there. But he also got a sense of the support, I guess, from the market leaders, from industry, from the people that also want to see these changes come into legislation before the end of this Parliament. So it was great to have him there. We were really honoured that he would take the time to come down and meet with us.
Yes. Now, did you have any promising conversations, I've got to ask you, with any organisations, either at the launch or, is there any promising conversations going on at the moment that looks like it will be converting into contracts?
Yeah, so some great conversations at the launch. Like I said, there was over 100 people there, 130 people there. So we had some fantastic conversations in terms of what Storm could do and what Stream, the wider platform, can do for those that have a much more mature process that they want to be looking at. And prior to the launch, we had been talking to some large stadium operators, some very well-known sports clubs, shopping centres as well. So there's an absolute need for this. And we're really pleased that we've been able to put that in a way that people don't find onerous, in the form of a report. They're able to deliver that very easily so that they have got this, very defensible data that they can produce should they be asked to do so at a later date.
Yes. Now, what does this mean in terms of prospects for the company? Are you going to be following the same model as Stream, the software and service route, also known as SaaS? Or, are you going for a different model?
No, it's entirely the same. So Stream is a report that operates, Storm is a report that operates on the Stream platform. So if organizations want the Storm report, essentially what they're doing is buying access to a configured report in the Stream platform. So it's all SaaS. It could be delivered on premise in the same way that we can deliver Stream on premise because it is operating on Stream. And it will have the same commercial model. So people will buy annual subscriptions in terms of access to Storm. So yeah, all the same, no deviation.
Now, what are your milestones for the company? When will you be looking at to put some tangible numbers out for investors so that they can see how the company is doing?
Yeah, so we're about to conclude our annual audit. So I'm expecting that the PLC will be able to release some information to the market, in the not too distant future following the conclusion of the audit.
That's great, Kerry. Well, thanks for your time. No doubt we'll be speaking to you again soon here at Stockbox. And, we do wish you all the very best.
You're very welcome. Great to see you. Thanks for inviting me. I'll definitely be back to speak to you soon.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.